Welcome to the Alumni Lounge. I'm your host, David Carafa, the podcast that brings you fascinating conversations with extraordinary individuals who have walked the halls of success at Lyons Township High School. Today's episode, we have Paul Moorehouse, a Student U production assistant at the Big Ten Network in Chicago.
Hey, I'm Paul Moorehouse. I'm from the class of 2018, currently residing in Bridgeview, Illinois. Right now, I'm working for Fox for the Big Ten Network down in Chicago.
All right. Paul Moorehouse from LaGrange Park. Actually, Bridgeview, right?
Well, originate from LaGrange Park in the Beach Avenue area. Now reside in Bridgeview with my lovely significant other, Aaron Sullivan.
Yeah. How's that going?
Aaron Sullivan?
Yeah.
Aaron and I are fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, little insight. I mean, we're looking to be long-term pretty soon. And it's exciting. I mean, we're doing lots of camping this summer while I have off during my
Illinois State Beach.
Yep. We just got back from there this past weekend. Coming up the next week, we're going to Starved Rock for 4 days, Tuesday through a Friday. Last time that's honestly my favorite camping ground is going to Starved Rock. I mean,
and how's the dog doing?
The dog's doing good.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, yeah. I was gonna say when we went to Starved Rock, we did like over 10 miles of hiking last time.
Oh.
So the dog really enjoys all the walks because
and then sleeps.
He doesn't get enough walking in the winter.
Oh.
So he gets overwalked in the summer.
I see. I see. Oh, when did you graduate from LT? And did you go to college?
Yeah, I graduated in 2018. I went to Ball State for a short time. It wasn't really for me, honestly. Just wasn't a fan of maybe the program and just maybe more so the location. Just being right smack in the middle of Indiana.
Indiana.
Yeah, and I mean, I love Indiana, but not when you're in the middle of some cornfields and have no car and you're trapped to just a few cafeteria foods options.
I see. I see. Well, so what was LTTV like when you were a student? Were there any big projects or shoots you were excited about, and were they challenging?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, LTTV was fantastic as a student. It really shaped me for who I am. We had a lot of student involvement, and there was just probably a program record of the amount of just productions, live productions we had, which honestly, you know, kind of like what I said, it really helped shape who I am. We had the LT boys basketball blackout in 2018 in my final year, which was for me challenging, but also exciting and probably the highest point of my time at LT. We had every position I could possibly think of as a student at that time filled. You know, we were trying to do live stats for graphics. We had sideline, like a pregame, like a courtside pregame show with like a table. I remember buying a black tablecloth on Amazon and bringing out the folding tables. So that was really cool, really challenging, but it worked out in the end. It earned us a national Emmy for the program, which was really great to bring back from the school. Everyone was really excited for that. But that was honestly during my time at LT was just over the top and fantastic. It could never be redone. So,
can you tell us about your role as a Student U production assistant at the Big Ten Network?
Yeah, so I have a number of different responsibilities as a production assistant, but I think the main vision, for our Student U program as a whole and that I'm a part of is really just helping teach the next generation of students in sports broadcasting. Okay. So we have a really unique program, actually. We're like the 14 Big Ten schools, soon to be 16 actually in a couple of years. But the 14 Big Ten schools, they're all like connected over one network back to our offices in Chicago. So on any we call it game day. So like whenever school will have, whatever events they're filming, whether that's wrestling, basketball, let's say like for winter sports, wrestling, basketball, gymnastics, I mean, you name it, any NCAA sport.
Yeah.
They're all connected back to our headquarters in Chicago, where we can communicate with them over headset, help answer any questions they have. Like, do you have an idea for how I want to put this into a graphic, or like, and again, like kind of we'll check elements for making sure everything sounds good. Cameras are matching, every audio sounding good, all of that kind of stuff. And, so I think that's the most important aspect of my position, is just like helping the students hands-on, in helping produce like the best production they can.
What do you enjoy most about your job?
What do I enjoy most? I mean, there's a lot of freedom with my job, which I kind of like. So,
yeah.
Usually, like if I have an idea for a project, they're kind of just like, yeah, go for it, So I've been able to do like a lot of stuff, kind of like, just like building like guides and like, or like trying to wire something up maybe in our I guess former control room at this point. But there's really a lot of freedom, and I really like that from like my standpoint, just because there's, if I have an idea, there's no like, oh, it's a terrible idea. They're really encouraging, just like the whole work environment is just really like encouraging. Everyone there's really nice, and they're always open to ideas. And so just like the freedom, kind of like, I guess like openness to everything is really nice there. So
have there been any life lessons or values that you've learned through LTTV that you transitioned, or anything you learned in BTN?
LTTV or BTN?
Both.
Yeah, I mean, LTTV kind of helped form the path that I needed into understanding just video production, sports, and really like the technical aspect of everything, which I think is my like, I guess like focused areas. What I really like to do is like technical aspect with wiring and hardware and stuff like that. So LTV really just helped me get a very broad understanding of that, just being able to like get hands-on with actually what a lot of our BTN schools use. They have the same, very similar equipment to LTTV, which I was fortunate to have. We provided all the schools with a TriCaster. We provided all the schools with a 3-play. So just walking in the BTN with that knowledge was actually super helpful. Just because like if they're like, I don't know what's going on, I can say like, oh, you need to go into the TriCaster settings and do this, so just kind of having that understanding was really helpful. Looking at BTN though, I think they've helped really excel me to more so, I feel like production wise as well. I feel like I've gotten a much better understanding of like building a better production, what looks good, what doesn't look good. Maybe like even things I didn't even realize as a student at LT was like, you could do a rollout package to close out your show, like with like the key highlights of the game. Like, what? I didn't even think of that. Like, just stuff like that, or like what full screen graphics, like with like this in it or XYZ, like, just stuff like that. So I think BTN has kind of helped give me a better understanding production wise of like what to expect and look for in a show.
Well, thanks for coming on the Alumni Lounge.
Of course. It's been a pleasure.
Well, see you next time, where stories reside and memories collide. The Alumni Lounge.
Bye.